Hey everybody, Cage Bishop Cosplay here for Buy Sell Trade SGBL Town Square, and today I want to do a different bits, I guess, a new series called Tales from the Sales Floor. I'm workshopping the name, all right? Work with me here. Anyhow, what I want to talk about is something that you should all be prepared for before the holiday season because it's something that we see way too often, and let's work on correcting it. So we're going to talk about charging. We're going to talk about how you should and shouldn't be charging controllers, game consoles, etc. So let's start with PlayStation controllers. This one's PS4. Same principle for PS3, 4, and 5. You're going to want to charge these there, or if you have a desk charger, there'll be a port that you can plug in there. But you either charge it with a USB cable to your game console. You can charge it with the USB ports on a PC or on a laptop. Or, like I said, the desk charger. What you don't want to do is you do not want to plug this into a cell phone brick and plug it into the wall. You don't want to do that. That overcharges the battery. It's too much voltage, and it essentially will damage the controller in the long run, leaving it to where it will not charge or hold a charge any longer. We see that way too often with PlayStation controllers, and this is an Xbox One controller. But for people using rechargeable batteries, it's the same principle. You don't want to do that. You want to keep this on the desk charger or charge the batteries with the desk charger or just plug it into the Xbox. Or like I said, you can use a USB port on a PC or a USB hub on a PC or a laptop, but you do not want to use a wall charger that is not specifically for an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller to do that. That will damage the rechargeable batteries, leaving them unable to be charged or not holding a charge for longer than 5-10 minutes or just dead completely. Even resetting the controller like you can do with a PlayStation controller with a little pinhole on the back there will not fix that. But make sure you're leaving these plugged in the way they're supposed to be plugged in. Don't plug them into the wall. Now, the big one that we see, especially around this time of year, is going to be this bad boy right here, the Nintendo Switch, or the entire Nintendo Switch family, the Switch, the standard Switch, the Switch Lite, or the OLED Switch. The only charger you want to use for these are the one that comes with the console or a Nintendo licensed one, a third-party one that you can get that is made for the Switch. You do not want to use a cell phone charger. You don't want to, I don't even think you should charge this with your computer, honestly. You should just charge it with the Nintendo licensed charger or the actual charger that comes with it from Nintendo, because yet again, this will overcharge or undercharge the battery, depleting it permanently, and then you have to replace it, and that is a pain in the butt. You have to take this thing apart. I mean, especially one of these. Like, you see how thin this is? There's a lot of screws to get to the battery in this, so you don't want to do that. So make sure you're not using a cell phone charger. I understand it's Type-C. Most devices are anymore, but cell phone chargers are too much for this to handle, or the standard Switch, or the OLED Switch. You want to use the included charger or a charger that is licensed by Nintendo that you can buy at a store like us or, local electronics store or whatever, wherever you are. You don't want to use anything that is not made for these. That is how you damage them. And these are way too much money to have to replace the battery or to have to replace the console because you burn it out. Just make sure you're doing the right thing with your consoles. That's the best thing I can tell you. That's the best advice I can give you for charging all of your devices. One last thing I want to talk about is, if you haven't already, invest in a surge protector. None of your high-end electronics, TVs, game consoles, computers, any of that stuff are supposed to be plugged directly into your walls unless you have a newer wiring situation at your place. So you're going to want to get a surge protector that's switched, so that way, especially here in Northeast Ohio, if your power surges, it hits the surge protector first. That's why it's called a surge protector, and not your electronics, and burns them out. Yet again, we see that happen way too often with Xbox 360s, Xbox Ones, Xbox Series consoles, PlayStations, PlayStation 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, what have you. Make sure you're not plugging those directly into the wall or your TV, your cell phone, none of that. Buy a surge protector. They're not that expensive anymore. I recommend the investment. They're like $10-15. Make sure it's one with the switch so you can turn them on and off. Again, especially here in Northeast Ohio, for those of you local folks that are watching us and checking us out, that's what you want to do. But hey, like I said, this is going to be the first in the series Tales from the Sales, or Tales from the Sales Floor, whatever I decide on calling it, whatever you guys tell me to call it in the comments. And let us know what you think. Let us know if you've had these problems. Let us know if you've avoided these problems. Let us know if your kids have avoided these problems. Tell your kids not to do all the stuff that I said not to do in this video. You'll save a lot of money that way. And we'll see you next time.